Hello everybody, I'm Sota and welcome back to Satisfactory. I think there might be something wrong with those barrel nuts I ate last night. Anyway, today we are going to be doing more power. And the reason for that is because even though we're doing pretty well on power, there are new machines like the particle accelerator and others that are going to be coming, and they eat a lot of power. So we need to get that sorted out. That means we're going to make rocket fuel. So let's get stuck in. Alright, we head over to the MAM for our first stop, and under the sulfur there is rocket fuel. And I have everything for it because I made some aluminium, and we're going to research that.
Rocket fuel unlocked. Pioneers will be able to use rocket fuel in the fuel generator and any vehicle that uses fuel, including the jetpack, with appropriate results. Warning: mixing rocket fuel into coffee does not enhance its energizing effect.
Oh, that sucks. Anyway, under advanced aluminium, that's where I got the empty fluid container, which is made out of aluminium. So I crafted some of that, and that's where we got the last component that we needed to make the rocket fuel. So there we go. We have rocket fuel, and it did need one hard drive, and there's one more hard drive required over here for the ionized fuel if and when we ever get there. All right, we have supercomputers in stock, so I'll grab a stack so that we can just do this MAM research. I will throw that in. It's for the nuclear power. I'm not really chasing this.
Milestone reached. The nuclear power plant produces dangerous radioactive nuclear waste. Fix-It reminds you that any extra limbs resulting from exposure to radiation are also contracted to work on project assembly. Fix-It also reminds you that willful exposure to radiation will not result in any bonuses regardless of how many functional limbs it produces. Project part number 7, the magnetic field generator, should enter production as soon as possible. Any unnecessary delays will be noted.
And that is why we got it, because we need to get started on this magnetic field generator, which is the next project assembly part. And while we're about it, the advanced aluminium unlocked fused modular frames and heat sinks. We're going to have to get into that, cooling systems, because those also feed into one of these upcoming parts. Anyway, we'll get there. But first, power. So we're going to head over to our power facility. I'm doing something here. It'll become apparent. All right, we are here. So if we look at the blender, which is a new machine, it is pretty expensive. There's rocket fuel. This rocket fuel takes 60 turbo fuel, turns it into 100 rocket fuel. That's awesome. Now, rocket fuel is also more efficient than turbo fuel, so it lasts longer in the fuel generators. All we have to do is add some nitric acid, and we get a little bit of compacted coal out, which I'm not going to do anything with at the moment. I'll probably just sink it. But yeah, that's a lot. So to get nitric acid, we also need the blender. Because the nitric acid should be in here. Wait a minute, what the... So the nitric acid, what do we need for that? Well, it can't be made yet, but it should be made in the blender, but the recipe is not here because it hasn't been unlocked yet. And that means we need to do what? Particle enrichment? Yeah, there it is, nitric acid. And that, we need turbo motors, we need fused modular frames, we need cooling systems, none of which I've automated. So I guess rocket fuel is slightly delayed. Well, that's a bit of a bummer. I thought I had everything planned out for this episode. Well, apparently not. Looks like we are probably doing, I don't know, fused modular frames. And let's see what is... Okay, so we need fused modular frames to get to the turbo motors. We already have cooling systems through advanced aluminium production, so we could get to those. That also unlocked fused modular frames. So we do need these to get leading edge, which will give us Mark III miners. Will give us another one of the assembly parts. We can make turbo motors, then we can take all that stuff that we're making and throw it in to get particle enrichment so that we can get nitric acid. Goodness me. One moment, please. Right, so we're going to see how close we can get to that target today, but no point worrying about that because we have a magnetic field generator that we can start building. So I've come over to this area where we are making our versatile frameworks right underneath us, because that is one of the components that's needed for the magnetic field generator. Versatile frames and electromagnetic control rods. Now I'm making 5 versatile frameworks. That means I'm going to make 2 assemblers. And honestly, I could make 1, but I mean, I don't really want to waste the summer sloops. So that means we need to make electromagnetic control rods. And we did unlock that with the nuclear thing that we just unlocked. So that's also made in an assembler. And what does that need? Electromagnetic control rods need stators and AR limiters. Stators are also made in one of these. right there. 15 steel pipes per minute, 40 wire per minute, and that gives us 5 stators. Now we only need, yeah, we can overclock that a little bit, I think, just to get the 1 extra, but that'll make 4 electromagnetic control rods, and we actually only need 2. So we'll have some building up in storage. Wonderful. That just means we need to make 15 steel pipes per minute and 40 wire per minute, and we've got 5 stators. We'll make a little bit more so we can do 6. Let's see what we would need. I'm going to need to pull some power shards out of storage. Oh, I've got so many. Let's take that up to 620%. So 18 steel pipes and 48 wire. Steel pipes, we'll use the alternate iron pipe recipe. We can underclock that to 18. Okay, this is not where everything's going to be, but yeah, it just gives me an indication of how many ingots I'm going to need to get out of smelters. And it's so very little. Okay, so we need 72 ingots for that, and then we have copper nearby, but we also have iron right next to us. So we could just use the iron wire recipe. We need 48, so it's basically 2 of these. Let's see how many we need. So 2.13, and that's 26 iron ingots per minute. So I call that 27 and 72. Let's go with around 100 iron ingots. That means we need 4 smelters. And that's where we'll start. Now, I do have iron right below me over here, so let's have a look at this. This is only going at 240. I can definitely increase that to 480 and then upgrade some belts. I think these are all going to be Mark 3s because this is an old facility. Yep, we can just upgrade those, and I think I'll tee off most likely somewhere around here, maybe here, and upgrade that. And I think I'm going to bring that up over here. So let's grab a floor hole, put it straight in the middle. And that means we're going to put one over there, and then we'll just drag this right through. I got Mark 4, so I'll use it. Let's see. That needs to come in, so we'll reverse that and then bring it down and into there. That one can go into there. Now, hopefully that works. Seems to be some kind of a thing over there. That means that I can line up a splitter somewhere near here. I know that seems fairly close. Conveyor lift, perfect height. Mark 4 belt, I don't really need, but I'm going to put it in anyway. And that's working. Good. Right, back on top. So, we need 4 smelters. That means I'm probably going to have to move some stuff out of the way. Nah, not really. But our blueprints, I want the smelters from the right. And for this, I think I can use my hover pack. All right, so hover pack is a winner. I am not quite in the way there, so that's good. Smelters from the right. Is that correct? Yep, they'll come in there and move out. Okay, good. I'll just hold it in position. Okay, it's yellow because it's touching that thing, but that's not really a problem. I'm going to move that. Okay, so they will come in over here. They will come out over here into the constructors. Good. That looks great, so I'm building. And I only needed 4. Now they're going to make 120. That's fine. I don't mind overproducing. It will back up anyway, so not really an issue. Conveyor lift over here. Conveyor belts in there. I will just upgrade all of those lines. I don't need to, but I'm going to. And other than plugging in, I think that is our ingot sorted out. So I'm going to drag a power pole across to there, put it in there, drag one side this way, that in there, and that into there. And then I just have to set all of these to have the iron ingot recipe and paste into all of them. Good. We'll be making iron ingots. There we go. Lots of them. Right. So we need 3 constructors for the wire and 1 constructor for the steel pipe. So it's 4 constructors in total. Let me get these out of the way. Unfortunately, I have a sink over here. So I don't know if this is going to clip too far in. Actually, that's okay. That means 4 constructors. And they are going to come in from... Wait, let's change that. They're coming in from the left. And they will feed out of that line and straight into this line. Hold there. Get that nicely centered. So then they will come out. Okay, well, they're going to come out in different places because there's 2 different items being produced here. But yeah, that spot looks good. Right, so I'm definitely going to need to upgrade the belts over here because quite a lot of stuff is going to get used. And the iron ingots are going to come all the way through, so we will just put them in straight away. Let's do the first 3 being iron wire. And then the fourth one will be iron pipes. So the pipes get underclocked to 18. Okay, and that's 72 ingots, which means that this cannot be a Mark 1 belt. So we'll just upgrade that to a Mark 2. The first two constructors will make 45 wire. We need 48. So this one will be cut down to 3. And then we need to break the belt over here. And I'm kind of thinking that I might reverse these so that they come out on that side. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'll have this one come straight out and the other two feed into it. Just like that. Mark 1 belts out of the machine. And I suppose we can have Mark 1 belts between them as well because it's not exceeding 60. So that's the basic stuff, which I just need to plug in, and those should start working. Okay, everything looks good here. Good. That means we're going to have wire coming through here. We're going to have iron pipes coming out here. We probably don't even need this merger, but there you go. All right, so let's clear this area up a little bit. We'll grab the assembler and we'll turn it. And what I'd like to do here is I'm going to have that one come directly into the machine because this kind of works out nicely. And we can have them close, like that close. And then I can put a belt in there and a belt in there. Set this to the stator recipe and make it do 6. Okay, so one of those in and up it to 6. Cool. Now I'll just bring some power across to this shortly. Right, so that sorts out our stators, 6 per minute. Now we need AI limiters, which means I need to bring a belt over from there. So I will do that. All right, so with a little bit of finagling, I put a splitter on the AI limiter line and I'm bringing them up and over, and they will come down here and feed out that way and then just go along the ceiling. All right, well, I haven't decided exactly where I want it yet, but it's close by now. It's just underneath us. It's over here. So let's get rid of that assembler. We'll put this assembler over here. I think we can have it. There might be enough space to have it over here. I don't think so, but we can try. Oh, this is going to be a bit tight. Well, that's going to work. So we'll pull that out to there, put it down, and if it doesn't like it, change the mode, and then we'll put the floor hole over here for the AI limiters, and that is where the AI limiters will be. I think I'll bring them in from that way. So we'll run a line down in this direction and pull that into there. No, I need to change the mode again. So it's nice and square, and that should bring the AI limiters up to the top, which means the last thing that we need to do here is one more assembler. I think I'm going to put it, I'm just going to put it out of the way over here. That means I can feed this one into here and then conveyor belt hole and put one of these in, and then I've got to get them out of this box. I'll take them out the top, turn it this way, grab that, turn it that way, and push that into there. That is the versatile frameworks that go in here to make the magnetic field generator. Oh, and I said I was going to do 2, right? Now I can overclock it. Save space. To confirm, 2 electromagnetic control rods, 5 versatile frameworks. I'll grab a belt out of here, bring it around this way, get ourselves a big storage, and just put it on this. Yeah, we'll put it over there. Belt this into that. Now I just need to add power to a few things. Okay, so we're using 2 and 5. I just want to confirm. I have so many of those versatile frameworks, but I think I'm producing 5. I am. That means I'll be making 2 of these per minute. So let's kick off this, and everything is now plugged in, and these can just keep going. Well, I suppose once I've set up the recipes and everything. Okay, so we're waiting for the stators, which are now starting to come through at a rate of 6 per minute. Perfect. We already have the AI limiters, so we'll get 4 electromagnetic control rods. Now, that's another thing we need to do. So I'm going to break this belt for a moment. I'm going to put a splitter right there to come in from that side, and that's the position right there. Yeah, I'll put this container a little close. Doesn't matter. All right, feed that in there, that into there, and that into there, which means that the 4 electromagnetic control rods, is it 4 that we need? It's 2. All right, good. So it'll split. 2 will go into this machine and 2 will go into storage, and I'll be able to build up a storage of those. And I'm not sure how important they are, so I am not going to put a dimensional depot up there just yet. Okay, we're waiting for one more, and there it is. Let's see the first one come out. And there they are. Fantastic. Magnetic field generators. That is the second phase 4 project assembly part. They are underway. Good. Moving on. Right, so to advance to where we want to go, we kind of, okay, we're doing everything here. We have access to these three, the heat sinks, the cooling systems, fused modular frames. We need fused modular frames to get to the thermal propulsion rocket and turbo motors, which we need to unlock this. So we need to make fused modular frames. Let's see how those are made. I'm going to come over here and put down a blender, and there they are, fused modular frames. Okay, so they need 75 aluminum casing per minute to make 1.5. They also need 37.5 nitrogen, and we need 1.5 heavy modular frame. I think I could get away with 3 of these, so I would do 2 blenders for that. That means I'd need 75 nitrogen gas, 150 aluminum casings, and 3 heavy modular frames. Now modular frames, I think I'm making 5.6 or something like that, so I think there's room to maneuver there. So I think this should be our next little project. Nitrogen gas, well, that's new. And that was unlocked in advanced aluminium, exactly where I thought nitric acid would be unlocked. Oh, how wrong I was. Anyway, we got most of that stuff fairly close to where I want to build this, so let's head over there. Okay, so we're at the aluminium area. I'm going to need to up production of the aluminium casings. Each of these machines makes 60. I am using some on one of the builds down in that direction. Is it the supercomputers maybe? No, it's not. Yeah, I can't remember exactly which, but we do have a line going that way, which I could add into, because in that direction is where I want to build this little facility. But that means I'd need to add another 3 of these, which would use 270 ingots. I'm only producing, well, I've set up the second production line for aluminium, so these things are moving so fast you don't even see them. So I'm producing 270, but I don't really want to use all the aluminium ingots for this. So let's see how many we're producing, how many we're using. I know I'm producing 120. I think I'm using 80 on that side. That leaves me with 40. So I need 110, which is basically just another 2 of these. So if I get my blueprints out, move this into position. Yeah, that's fine. Set these 2 to aluminium casings and get rid of the last 2. Just connect these up. Now I believe I just need to supplement this line. All right, so that line up to the top should be supplemented now. All right, that is all sorted. I'll keep an eye on that to make sure I didn't make a hash up of any belts. And the last thing I really need to do here is just grab some power, put it across to there. That's already connected. Maybe just neaten this up by bringing that across to there. And these will start pushing out the extra casings that we need that will land up going onto the line that's running out that way. Look at this wonderful full belt of supercomputers that we've got here. That's brilliant. Okay, so in this area, nitrogen gas is going to come from there. We'll pop up there and set that up. I've put pipes in the meantime. Put down a blender and see if there's anything we need to manufacture for this. Right, we've got the frames, we've got the nitrogen, we've got the heavy modular frames. All right, cool. So heavy modular frames are going to be coming in from that side. There's a belt running under the floor that brings them in from over here. So that belt runs all the way down there. We can tee off it, and I think it comes into this machine. Yeah, there it is. At 1 per minute. Okay, so we can get that pretty easily. Just back in here, aluminium casings conveniently placed right over here. Now, should I do it on this level or go one up? I think I'm going to push it on this level, maybe. Let's just turn this and see how it fits. If I have everything feeding into the front of it, now, I haven't done a blueprint for this, so I'm not exactly sure. If I put it like that's I'll put the inputs on this side, and if I center it, I got space on this side to do stuff, and then I got space for the output because this is a simple output. Yeah, I could do this. In fact, I could probably move it a little bit forward. Yeah, I'm thinking with splitters over here, it might be a bit tight. Let's move it back and place it. Okay, so Blender first of all, Blender uses lots of power. So we're going to be making these. I need 2 of these machines. So there is the second one. They use 75 megawatts of power. And if you want to sloop them up, that'll push up to 300, I think. But it's also going to use 4 sloops, so you don't really want to do that. 2 solid inputs, 2 liquid inputs. In this case, we're going to use 2 solid inputs and 1 liquid. All right, so let's head up to the top and see if we can get some of that nitrogen gas down here. And I finally did put a hypertube in, so let's ride it. Yeah, it's very cool, but we're going really, really high up, and I hope the nasty creature that was here hasn't respawned, because that would be pretty sad. Okay, all seems quiet. So I did put this down. This is the resource well pressurizer. This machine pressurizes the nodes, and this is a node, and it's a pure nitrogen gas node. There are 7 of these. Each of them, if you put an extractor on them, resource well extractor, kind of put that in the right direction. Why is it not allowing it? Must be placed on an active fracking node site. That means I need to power this up. So we'll put that right there. Now that it's pressurized, well, not quite yet, still activating. There we go. Now it's pressurized. So we can put one there, and I just need to go and figure out which ones are the closest. I'll put one over there. Because what I've done is I've set up 3 pipes. Each of these pipes are capable of carrying 600. Now these little guys don't need to be powered up. They automatically have power. And if you go into them, so you get 120 per minute max. That's it, done. But you can charge things. So I'm going to grab Mark 1 pipes. Now I'll grab Mark 2 because I'm going to grab 3 of these and I'm going to put it into a tank. And what I will do up here is I think I'm going to make a plan to join these up. Now I'm not too worried about how this looks. So pipeline Mark 2. Right, let's put one of these in. Pop that over there. Grab that. Plug it into... I want it to go in the side. Oh, come on. There and there. And then there's going to be another one. Put another junction over here. Another one pipe can go in there, another one can go in there, and this will give us 360 into that tank. But for this, I'm actually looking at this last tank being filled. Actually, you know what? I think we can overclock this. Yeah, we can. So let me give this 200%. That is then, oh, that's a lot. So I could push this all the way up to, let's see, how much, 1800? 2100. I could have 3.5 full Mark II pipelines. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Let's take this one out. We'll give it 200%. That means that each of these nodes is now producing 240. So that means I can remove one of these. So there's 480 coming in on that line. I want to try and split it into these 3 tanks. This is going to look like a complete mess until I've figured myself out here. All right, so this can come in. I'm just kind of splitting these things as and where I... Oops, that's definitely not correct. This has got to be its own separate line. I'll bring that over there and we'll plug that in. That is not in the right place. None of this is in the right place. So let's connect that to there. That to... It won't let me. Well, I can connect it to there, so that's good. This one into here, and then I'm going to plug that into there, that into there, and with all of that and sufficient head lift from these guys, it looks like everything's going into the tanks. And I'm using 6 of the 7 nodes, which is 1440, which means that 480 per minute are going into each of these tanks. There we go. Oh, and they're almost full. Wow, it's crazy. All right, so we have nitrogen gas now, which is cool because it's one of the requirements for the nitric acid when we eventually get there. All right, well, now I need to get one of those pipes down here and into there, which will not be difficult at all. And I think I'm going to bring it in from the bottom. Now, I think gas works the same as liquid. So it's coming down from a height. I don't know. It's not the same. It doesn't work in real life the same, but I'm not even sure if it needs pumps, to be honest. But anyway, it comes down here. It fills the pipe. The pipe comes here. If there's stuff in the pipe, then it gets fed in. So I'm going to need to put pipeline floor holes down because we're going to come in from underneath and it's getting dark. All right, it is morning. I have done some setups around here. I have a conveyor lift coming in from the floor over here that will take heavy modular frames. The aluminium casings will come in from the top, and then the pipes I will split under the floor as I bring them in. I've still got to pull that pipe through. So I'm going to do that right now. All right. Small problem I have right now is that I'm working directly over the railway line. It could be interesting. Let me grab a splitter for the heavy modular frames right there. I'm going to put this one in so I can see where I need to be with these pipes. Okay. So basically what I need to do is bring this one over to around about, well, it doesn't really matter, I'm going to delete it. Then grab a junction, and I can't put it in because, oh wait, there I can. Okay, because I'm really close to the railway line. Well, I'm going to take a chance and see if this actually brings the stuff through. Okay, so we're going to go 1, 2 back from here, and then pop that in there, that in there. Okay, well, we are getting stuff through. I just hope it's going to the top. Then I can grab the belt just to mark 1, bring it out to, well, let's bring it back rather. Put it into there and feed that. Okay, good. could be possible that everything is plugged in. Alright, so we are definitely getting gas into the machine. The heavy modular frames are coming. The aluminium is here. I'm going to let the heavy modular frames back up a little bit. And I'll bring the output down on this side. So that plugs in there. I can use this line. That's good. Pop a merger in front of this one. Connect this line. And over here, you have very large storage, which will only work if it's the right way around. Dimensional depot. Oh no, I'm out of Mercer-spheres. Well, that sucks. I'll throw that in there. It's going to take a while to fill up anyway. Maybe I'll find another one in the meantime. Okay, it looks very much like we have everything. Make sure that the recipes are selected. Bring some power through. Power that one up. Power that one up. All right, it's all yellow. Ah, green light. Good. All right, so it's waiting for nitrogen gas. No, it's not. It's got 50 out of 25. That's good. It's got everything, so it's working. I think I may need to speed up the belts before this for the casings. Let's just see. No, actually, it looks like we're going to be fine. Yeah, perfect. We have enough coming in. Let's go and see them come out. There we go. There's our first one. Okay, good. We are getting them through. They are starting to build up. Okay, they are coming through. We are starting to build up a little bit of stock. We've got 5 in so far. More coming, and they are being produced at 3 per minute in total. So that's a good step in the right direction. Right, let's see how we're doing here. We have, oh good, we have enough. All right, that is fine. So I'll just let that carry on doing its thing. And we're going to head back and finish that milestone. Right, here we are. And into the hub, and I've got everything that I need all queued up, except for 100 pipes, which I can just grab out of here, and 200 pipes, sorry. There we go, and launch.
The Miner Mark III provides top-of-the-line resource extraction potential, making it even easier to contribute to project assembly. Project part number 8, the thermal propulsion rocket, is the most complex project part of this phase as it requires turbo motors, and thus requires your best. Fix-It didn't think pioneers such as you could get this far. I am glad we have both proven them wrong.
Alright, well that gives us the turbo motors which we need to get to particle enrichment so we can get the nitric acid so that we can get more power. But there are a couple of things that we need to do first. Heat sinks, cooling systems, then the turbo motors, and then we can get all this sorted out. But that is where I'm going to leave this one. If you like this video, give us a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications. Leave me your comments. I do apologize for not getting more power. I actually didn't expect nitric acid to be so far down the line, but that's fine. Gives us the opportunity to do some other stuff, get some more project assembly parts done so we can send more stuff up there. And I can just pop out here for a second and see how our, look at that. We're already at 170 of the 500 we need. I already know that we're over the 500 for the directory assembler system or whatever that is. So good. Next project part we're going to work on is the thermal propulsion rocket. It shouldn't be too difficult. I just need to get those turbo motors sorted out. We can also then upgrade to Mark III miners, which may help us in some places. But thank you so much for joining me. And until next time, cheers.